Okay, so today what we're going to work on is long division. So long division is just like the type of division you did back in third grade, fourth grade. So I want you to put me on pause and try this, the long division of numbers. Okay, and then come back and check your answers. Okay, so hopefully you did this long division. It's 4,734 divided by 21. All right, so just a refresher, this number underneath the bar, that's called your dividend, and the number that's being divided into the dividend is called your divisor. All right, so remember, we see how many times does 21 go into 4, and it doesn't, so then I go into 47. So 21 goes into 47 2 times, so 2 times 21 is 42, and then I subtract them. So 47 minus 42 is 5. Then I bring down the next number 3, so now I have 53. How many times does 21 go into 53? That would be twice. So I have 42. Subtract them. I get 11. Bring down the 4. How many times does 21 go into 114? That would be 5 times. Multiply the 5 down and I get 105. Subtract them and I get a remainder of 9. So my answer would be 225 with a remainder of 9. So when you divide polynomials, it's the same concept. All right, we're going to do that same type of long division here. So I already wrote down the steps for you, so you don't have to write them because it's a lot of steps. So let's just take a look. It says, looking at the first term of the dividend, that's what's under the bar, and the divisor, come up with what do you have to multiply the first term of the divisor to get the first term of the dividend. Put that number above the second term in the dividend and then multiply down. All right, so let's see what we have here. Let's take a look at the first one. We have 2x to the third minus 18x plus 36 divided by x minus 6. Now notice that in here, I skipped down. I went from x to the third down to x. That means I'm missing a term right in here. I'm missing an x squared term. So when you're missing a term, fill in that term with a 0. So let's just write that down. When you're missing a term, use a 0. Okay, so let's rewrite this. So it's the dividend is 2x to the third. I need an x squared, so it's going to be plus 0x squared minus 18x plus 36 divided by, my divisor is x minus 6. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to look at the first term in the divisor and the first term in the dividend. And you're going to say to yourself, what do I need to multiply x by so that I get 2x to the third? So what I need is a 2x squared. I put that right above the second term. The next thing is you're going to multiply down. So I'm going to take 2x squared multiplied by negative 6, 2x squared times x. So 2x squared times negative 6 is negative 12x squared. And then I'm going to multiply 2x squared times x, and I get 2x to the third. Now, the next thing, I'm going to subtract. Use parentheses around the binomial and make sure you subtract both terms. So I'm going to put parentheses around my binomial. I'm going to subtract. So just be careful when you're subtracting. Now, this should happen. Look at the first two terms. I have 2x squared minus 2x squared is 0. That should happen. That's what you want. You want them to cancel out. And now I have 0x squared minus negative 12x squared. So that becomes plus plus. So then I just have 12x squared. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to bring down the next term in the dividend, and then you're going to repeat the process. So I bring down minus 18x. So now you do the same thing. X times what will give me 12x squared? So I need a 12x. So let's put 12x here. I need a positive 12x. And now you're going to multiply down. So 12x times negative 6 is negative 72x. 12x times x is 12x squared. Put parentheses around it. Now subtract. Okay, so 12x squared minus 12x squared is 0. And now I have negative 18x plus, because I have a minus. So now negative 18x plus 72x is positive 54x. Okay, so I have 54x. And then you're going to bring down the next term, which is positive 36. Okay, and you repeat the process. So x times what gives you 54x? That would be 54. Positive 54. So multiply that down. So 54 times negative 6 would be negative 324. And 54 times x would be 54x. And then we're going to subtract. Okay, so now I'm going to subtract them. So 54x minus 54x is 0. So I have this 36 minus negative 324, so that becomes the plus plus. So 36 minus negative 324 is positive 360. Okay, so I have a remainder. So now to write this, when you have a remainder, so your answer is 2x squared plus 12x plus 54. Now you have a remainder. Okay, so since your remainder is a positive, you're going to put plus 360, and then you put that over your divisor, which is x minus 6. So my answer is 2x squared plus 12x plus 54 plus 360 over x minus 6. All right, so let's flip it over and try the other one, the next one. Okay, so I have 35x to the 4th plus 51x to the 3rd plus 34x squared plus 57x plus 9 divided by 7x minus 1. So let's write this. So I have 7x divided into, it's going to be a long one, 35x to the 4th plus 51x to the 3rd plus 34x squared plus 57x. And then I have a, this should actually be, change on your paper, this should be a minus 9 here. Put minus 9 there. Minus 9. Actually, it'll say it on your paper, not on the video, because I'll change it before I give it to you. Okay, so let's start dividing. So I say to myself, 7x times what gives me, 7x times what gives me 35x to the 4th. All right, and so I'm going to put it right above the 51x to the 3rd. So what I need is a 3x to the, 5x to the 3rd. Let's multiply that down, so I get negative 5x to the 3rd and 35x to the 4th. Okay, let's subtract them. They cancel. So it's 51x to the 3rd minus a negative 5x to the 3rd is 56x to the 3rd. Bring down the next term, positive 34x squared. All right, so we need 7x times what is 56x to the 3rd. So I need 8x squared. Positive 8x squared. Multiply down. So we get negative 8x squared and 56x to the 3rd. Subtract them. They cancel. So 34x to the 3rd plus and positive 8x squared is going to be positive 42x squared. Bring down the next term, which is positive 57x. All right, so now 7x times what is 42x squared? That would be 6x. Multiply down, I get negative 6x and a positive 42x squared. I don't know why I put that positive there. And now we're going to subtract. So 42x squared minus 42x squared is 0. 57x minus a negative 6x is plus plus, so that would be 63x. Bring down the negative 9. Now I need 7x times what is 63x? That would be 9. So I put 9 up here. So multiply down, I get negative 9. And now I get 9 times 7x is 63x. And now I subtract. So I have 63x minus 63x is 0. Negative 9 plus 9, because I have that minus minus, is 0. So my answer is 5x to the third plus 8x squared plus 6x plus 9. Now, there's something special about this because the remainder is 0. When you have a remainder of 0 after you do long division, that means that 7x minus 1 is a factor. So if I could factor this here, this polynomial, one of my factors would come out to be 7x minus 1. So let's write that down. Since the remainder is 0, then 7x minus 1 is a factor of 35x to the fourth plus 51x to the third plus 34x squared plus 57x minus 9. Okay, so that's it, and have a good night.